Coming up today on this Friday edition of Western Sports Roundup, we kicked off the first performance of the Clovis Rodeo in Clovis, California last night. We're going to share who is leading the way early on in the competition.
And we've been talking to you guys about the preparations for Arlington, the American. We have to talk about two gentlemen that swept the rounds in Oklahoma. We've got Coleman Proctor going to be joining us. He knows what it takes to win the American, and he's going to join us and tell us exactly what that means.
And whether we're talking the Fort Worth Stock Show, San Antonio Stock Show, or Rodeo Houston, there was one horse that helped bareback riders to the winner's circle. We're going to tell you about her huge Texas swing today on Western Sports Roundup.
Help him now go back-to-back as a Rodeo Houston champion. The dance is on, and disco is back in town.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome into the Cowboy Channel studios for Western Sports Roundup. My name is Ely Sutherland, again alongside my good friend Katie Lucas. Katie, we've had a really great couple days here on this show, and even it's getting better as we have updates for you, what's coming up this weekend, and get to talk about some new breaking news too.
Yeah, some big news coming out of the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. For many years now, their headquarters and the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame has been in Colorado Springs, but just this week, the PRCA Board of Directors and the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame trustees have voted to relocate to Cheyenne, Wyoming. This in conjunction with Cheyenne Leads. The vote happened just earlier this week, and it will mark a monumental move in the headquarters for the PRCA and all things professional rodeo. They plan for this to be complete by 2029, and as CEO of the PRCA, Tom Glaus, said, as the PRCA celebrates our 90th year as the premier sanctioning body in Western sports, this is an exciting evolution that will give our membership the best chance for the next 50 years. Definitely a milestone, Elise.
That it really is, and honestly, I think this could be really great for a lot of people included in the sport of rodeo and for business in Cheyenne, Wyoming. They've obviously wanted to have this happen, and to see how excited they are for these possibilities, how hard they've pushed. I mean, we're taking a look at the Cheyenne Frontier Days, the daddy of them all. Here's the thing. Kind of a new move. It's going to be an exciting thing to see how everyone's able to make that shift. But to take the hall and the entire PRCA headquarters up there, it's going to be fun to see how they're able to make that move. But it's just new news right now.
Yeah, it's very clear for the last several years, the state of Wyoming has been very interested in bringing new businesses. But I think, as you said, the combination of the daddy of them all and then the headquarters plus the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame.
So much history already.
Yes, I think it'll be a really exciting home for the PRCA, and we'll see as they make new developments here over the next several weeks. They said in the article on ProRodeo.com, now they can start to put things in place as they begin to build this new facility.
Yes, ma'am. But speaking of history, we're making history out during the California run right now. We talked about what had been happening in Slack, but last night got things kicked off in Clovis with performance number 1, and it got kicked off in a very big way, especially with some California natives.
Yeah, great California cowboy right here. World champion from 2019, Clayton Bigelow. He leads the way in the bareback riding on a great horse from Sankey Pro Rodeo, MLW's Irish Eyes. 86.5 points, Elise.
Irish Eyes has been to the big show of Las Vegas 6 times when you put an 8-time NFR qualifier and world champion. We've got Clayton Bigelow at number 17 in the world, and we really do see him capitalize on that California run. I'm hoping to see him more down the road. But let's talk about a young gun, Bodie Spring in the steer wrestling, 6-1. This is taking the lead right there with what we're seeing in this performance. But that's just starting to get things started for the Montana State University college athlete.
Yeah, don't forget the steer wrestlers have already dogged 2 steers previous to the performances. We're seeing the best of the best in these performances. So Bodie kicked off what they call the semifinals. So it'll be the 3rd steer that they will take before the short round. Cody Devers leads the way in the average on 3 with a 34-8. Looking at the team roping, it is a tie at the top between the Miners and Van Aken and Warner. 6.7 seconds. This is coming just from the performance last night. Like I said, kicking off this semifinals performance. The Miners also lead the way in the average 24-3 on 3 for them.
Fast it is. And that 6 and 7, just talking about those brothers and what they're able to get done. Top 30 in the world right now. Could we see them back in Las Vegas? Well, this is a part of the way. Now let's talk about some saddle bronc riding. Speaking of a pair at the top, let's talk about Brody Cress on Calico Color of Birch Rodeo and Rusty Wright on Birch Rodeo's Fire Iron for 88.5 points. Now, Brody's starting to kind of climb. Didn't necessarily have the best Texas swing, but the California run seems to be good for him. And Rusty, he's crossed $100,000, number 2 in the world.
Yeah, kind of the tale of 2 seasons right now. Brody ready to kick things into high gear. Rusty just needs to keep pushing through and doing what he's already done all season long. They are your early leaders in a strong lead at 88.5 points. In the tie-down roping, King Pickett was 9 flat in the performance last night. King's had a couple quiet years. He's been top 30 in the year overall several years ago, but the last few years he's got less than $10,000 in earnings. You can see right there from his reaction. It is good for King Pickett to be back. He has a chance to really have another standout year.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about some horsepower in the Cowgirls event. This is the barrel racing Julia Johnson 1658. This is a fun arena to see these Cowgirls take in because coming into that first barrel right into the stands, it's a big pin, a big setup, and this is one of those historic rodeo arenas that you're able to see this shot. And that has been something I've been waiting an entire year. I love that they're able to take that sky cam over the back of that third, and you can see him come all the way home. I bet it's fun to make a run there.
Yeah, I think tougher on horses too. You've got to be kind of seasoned to be able to just run into that great big grandstands like that. But great run for Julia Johnson. She's also sitting second in the average right now. Cullen Telfer, we had him on Western Sports Roundup a week or so ago, and he really talked about his renewed love for the sport of bull riding, and he's just been having so much fun getting back to it this year. Great ride once again for him on speed dial, 88 points. He goes to the lead.
I'm sure he is having a really good time. Good confidence booster, great bull right there. He's sitting number 9 in the world, so top 10 in the world. A new love for the sport yet again and able to really climb into things. But here's a look at the overall leaders post-performance number 1 that we've had a chance to talk to you about just now. But there's that average leader, Morgan Bagnell, there in the barrel racing. Britt Bedke is taking the lead in the average. They're in the tie-down roping and a lot of great athletes so far.
Yeah, performance
and it's just getting started.
Yeah, performance number 2 coming your way this evening. It runs through the weekend, but catch performance number 2 immediately after Western Sports Roundup at 9:30 Eastern. Well, from PRCA competition out on the West Coast to a monumental rodeo happening right here in Texas in just a few weeks. The American Rodeo, May 22nd and 23rd. We're getting the opportunity to visit with some of the qualifiers for that $2 million opportunity. And looky here, one of those joins us right now, Coleman Proctor, fresh off the win at the Central Regional. Tell me a little bit about the competition there in Oklahoma City.
You know, it was great. We got to break in the new building, OG&E. I hadn't, it was kind of nostalgic for me. Like I grew up in Oklahoma, love the Coliseum, but man, it's a beautiful facility they had. Tough guys, man. There's Texas, this Oklahoma Central region, man, it's tough. And it was a great couple days. Me and Travis finally got stuff tapped off, kind of going our direction. So looking forward to going to Arlington. I love competing in Oklahoma, but I can't wait to get to Texas.
What a great arena, and coming from an Okie myself as well, I'm glad that you guys got to put together some great runs there. What all had to go right with this pin of steers for you guys to make all of these great runs back to back?
Well, I think right off the bat, the scoring, just like any header, it all predicates off the start I get, and I got great starts. Mills did a great job for me. Everything really came together. Steers could be a little tricky, they kind of get a little low-headed, and it's just, I think that's the reality of the team roping steers this year. It's going to be different. It's not, we're having to rope older steers. Steers are expensive, and they were great. We drew right down the middle, and I got great starts and kind of put us in a position to really go to winning.
But Coleman, you weren't just great, you were dominant there in Oklahoma City. You won both of the go-rounds, won the average with your B run, and then went ahead and won in the finals as well. What do you think the secret was?
The secret was I missed the first steer by 3 feet to the right. That one didn't make the highlight reel. Then I got a little bit upset at myself. Had to have a little coaching moment and bounce back. We made some great runs. Travis and I have roped for years together, and this winter, it's funny. You see a lot of partner swaps going on, still happening today. And guys, you put a lot of stock in the winter because it's so big, and we just hadn't tapped into the runs we feel like we can make. Decided to stick it out and grind together and make the finals this year. That's our goal, and win a world title. So it felt like it all came together at Oklahoma City. Our run started really coming together. But after 6 winter rodeos, guys go to questioning themselves a lot.
It really sounds like that. And with all these swaps and everything, but you've said you guys have roped together before. How easy is that coming from people that you've had other partners in the past, but to come back together, does it kind of fit like a glove, if you will?
Absolutely. We've always wanted to rope first partners sometimes, just the timing never worked out. But being a team roper, we get a jackpot a lot. And I was always Travis's go-to run when he would come back up home. And so it was fun. And I've watched Travis, like we've been friends since I used to just idolize Travis being, he was 14 years old and roping in the opens and just kicking butt. And so, growing up, watching him, and he's helped me a lot in my career, getting it going and to start winning. So when we had the opportunity to rope together, it was we were both pretty disappointed with no better than it's been. I've been answering questions from, am I taking the year off? Am I going to rodeo hard again? Or am I just tripping steers? Am I bulldogging that? Like, no, I'm rodeoing full time. You just hadn't seen us a lot in the results. But we finally got it going together our way. We've been making some great runs. And I think once your run starts feeling smooth together, winning is just inevitable.
I kind of like to hear that, though, when you're talking about people asking if you're taking some time off. Does that kind of bring the dog bat in you, light that fire just a little bit harder when you're like, hang on, guys, I'm out here?
Yeah, that was one of the discussions I had with myself after I missed that first one by 3 feet. Ran right almost to the middle of him, threw it to the right, and at Oklahoma City. And I'm like, what are you doing? This is why people think you're done. This is, everybody thinks you're out. And I've always done better with an underdog mentality. When the year I won the American, we were definitely underdogs coming in. That's why we were one of the qualifiers. So, I'm back in the practice pen again today. Got home at 4:30 this morning from Lufkin and loaded everything up, brought it over here to the beautiful covered arena. And now we have 2 million reasons to be getting ready each and every day.
And Coleman, you've had such a great career, 9 times to the National Finals Rodeo. Your partner, Travis Graves, 16 times to the NFR as well. On paper, you guys should be winning day in and day out. How are you using that to motivate yourself? Like you said, 2 million reasons right now to be out there in the practice pen, but that doesn't come easy day after day either.
Absolutely not, especially the more birthdays you start stacking up. And these youngsters are great, and the kids are amazing nowadays. They go so fast, and I think it's just honing in on a lot of the veteran know-how. And at this point in our careers, we know what works. We know what makes us successful, and then just sticking to that and not deviating, not chasing rabbits, as I call it. Just grinding, getting in there, and just using our old pro know-how.
I like to hear you talking about that veteran mentality a little bit. We've seen so many fast runs here lately, but like you are bringing up with the steers, you guys are going to have to change your strategy just a little bit to really be watching these cattle. Do you think that's going to be a bit of an advantage for you guys when you get to Arlington?
Well, definitely getting to rope them, is a huge advantage, kind of knowing the feel of what they want to do. And honestly, nowadays, you're just going to have to be a cowboy. We can make all the excuses we want for your steers not doing this, or, I didn't get the right start, or that judge has a vendetta against me. But at the end of the day, you got to be a cowboy, and you got to go do your job the best of your ability. And it might get a little more difficult this year, depending on how the steers get. But I think it's definitely an advantage coming through the Central qualifier, getting to see the steers go, getting to rope most of them all one time, and being ready when we get to Arlington.
I think another advantage that both you and Travis has is being able to walk up on that stage to win the American previously. How do you look back on moments like that to drive you back up on that stage again?
Man, that was a great day, boy. I tell you what, the day I won it, I ran on the stage, and I think I even kissed the ground when I got there. You know what I mean? It's like taking a bad flight. You finally made it there, and you're like, oh, baby, I just want to kiss the ground again. It's certainly knowing that you've had success there. Obviously, I haven't had the success Caleb Driggers has there. It's kind of became the town that Caleb built. But, I'm looking forward to raising that big check over my head again. And, now I've got more kids and more ranch, so we got more payments and we need more money.
I love that. Plenty of reasons to get it done and get back on that stage, maybe kiss the floor again. But with the team you both have won it before. There's a big chance you're going to get back there again. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you need to get back to practicing, but we'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, I better get back in there. Jake's going to start hollering. We got Jake Long back up. I mean, how often you get to rope with a world champion healer, so, and give him tips on his healing. I'm kind of trying to get him lined out. He's going to figure it out. If he stays with it and sticks with my method there, he'll get that healing deal figured out. But we're looking forward to a couple fun days here. He's up. We're having some fun. It's rained us out. We usually get a good golf game going, and which he always wins, but I got to pump his confidence.
You do. Maybe he's going to need a bigger hat. Everybody needs some help, especially from a champ like you guys. But it was really great talking to you. Thanks for being here on Western Sports Roundup.
Thanks for having me.
And that's Coleman Proctor talking about the plans for winning the American yet again. Speaking of what happened in Oklahoma City, steer wrestler, Oklahoma native from Shakota, Riley Duvall, is going to join us to talk about what it took to get to the pay window there and his plans for Arlington.
And coming up later on Western Sports Roundup, we've already celebrated the highest earners across the Texas swing of the human variety, but we're going to talk about this amazing equine athlete that won 3 of the Texas swing rodeos later on the show.
Western Sports Roundup is brought to you by Resistol, the official hat of the PRCA, and Cowboys everywhere.
Western Sports Roundup is brought to you by Rock and Roll Denim. Live boldly. Live in rock and roll denim.
Hopping on multiple horses, but now he gets to hop on a steer wrestling horse and try to punch his ticket.
Yeah, and this is a steer that he's going to try a little bit. We're going to pull him down the arena. Riley needs to keep hustling, and good run for Riley. Goes to the lead right there.
Great run for Riley Duvall right there, winning the Central Regional in Oklahoma City for the American Rodeo and giving himself the opportunity now to compete for $2 million at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, May 22nd and 23rd. Welcome back to Western Sports Roundup. We're celebrating with the champions of the American Central Regional this week, who all now have an opportunity for a $2 million payday. And one of those champions joins us right now. Riley Duvall, we heard Luke Branquino on the broadcast right there talk about that steer. He said he was a little stronger, wanted to pull you down the pen. When you backed into the box, what were you focused on given the draw you had?
Honestly, I was trying to win 3rd or 4th. I thought there was some better steers in there, but I thought I could for sure make it back on that one. And then a few guys with the better ones kind of stubbed their toe and luckily snuck in there.
You have to be prepared for each of those moments to capitalize on what you have in the draw and everything. But I also want to draw attention to most every performance we see you in. It seems like you are also hazing for basically 90% of the pack. So when it comes to having to focus on you making your own run as well, how do you keep your focus? Is that just something you like to do to stay busy?
Honestly, yeah, like it keeps me from overthinking it, I feel like. Like I haze for everybody and then I just jump on and go compete. And I don't know, in my own way, I feel like that helps me. I don't overthink it and don't process too much.
Is that something you've slowly learned and developed throughout your career?
I'd like to say yes. I don't know. My career's been a roller coaster and sometimes my mind game is too, but how I felt the last few years about it, yeah.
He says a roller coaster, but you've been to the National Finals Rodeo 4 times competing yourself and countless to show up and haze for your friends. But I want to talk about horsepower right here. That's the famous Dr. Pepper. What makes him so special and so capable of putting you in the right spot?
He's just easy. He never makes a mistake, and that's important in the bulldogging. You know, when you've got the good one, he's going to do the same thing every time. He's as he's got older, he's actually started giving a better go. He takes more of a step out, and that really fits me. And I didn't ride him for a few years, and I started riding him again in January of this year, and lately it's been clicking really well.
Your hazer is someone that you also know really well. Tell me about the team that you two make up.
Yeah, that's Shane Fry. He's been hazing for me for almost my whole career, on and off a couple years maybe, and that's a horse of his called Deuce. And when Shane's over there, I really don't worry about anything. I don't even have to look and see if he's right or not. I can focus on bulldogging and doing my job because I know Shane's going to handle his part, or he's going to try as hard as anybody out there.
I love to hear that you guys have such faith in each other, because he also, when he's running his steers, you're hazing for him, and you guys switch back and forth. Now you both have earned your spot at that $2 million. Is it safe to say we can plan to see you both backing in the box for each other that day in Arlington?
He'll be hazing for me. I don't know what his plans are. I'd assume I'm hazing for him, but if he wants to use somebody else, I'll gladly push for him or stand in the quarter. But yeah, I'll ride Dr. Pepper and have him haze, same team as Oklahoma City.
Tell me a little bit about what that day is going to look like. Obviously, a lot of pressure, a lot of money on the line. You talked about mental game. How do we make sure you're right when you hit Arlington?
I mean, you just run it as another rodeo, not, because the payout is so big. But one thing about bull logging, it's just you versus your steer. You just go try to make the best run you can, and if it plays in your favor, then you did your job.
With rodeo being such a family sport and the deep-rooted history that your family has, you're also raising the next generation as well. Does it make it any more special to be going down the road and getting to have these special moments, knowing you've got a family at home as well supporting you?
Yeah, it's fun. So the last few years, it's really gotten fun. I've got 3 younger cousins that just started bull logging. One's been bull logging a few years. 2 started this year. And, the practice pen, used to it was maybe me, my dad, and my grandpa. And now there's a crowd of us out there. And I'm having as much fun bull logging as I've had in a couple years. So it's really exciting.
How much has that great community just been a part of the Duvall legacy? It seems like you all have impacted so many people in the game.
Yeah, the community where I'm from, Shakota's the best. I mean, everybody at church knows what I did as soon as the rodeo's over, and they want to talk about it on Sunday at church. And I mean, that whole town's great. I think they watch the Cowboy channel nonstop in Shakota, but they put some pressure on you. They expect you to win and do good, but it's awesome. I love being from there and love the people from that town.
Oh, that is so nice to hear. That's just a wonderful thing about this rodeo family and the family back home. But that family also gets to come together just before you're ready to nod your head in Arlington. You guys have a long-standing event in Shakota. Tell us about that jackpot and just how important it's been for your career and your family.
Yeah, we have a jackpot the 3rd week of May. We've been having it for, as far as I know, 48 years. My grandpa Bill and Uncle Roy started it. And we've had it every year except for 2020, I guess, because of COVID. But, forward to it. A lot of old-timers look forward to it. We take a big old-timers picture every year, and it's just fun. People come and hang out, and they sit right in the arena. I mean, I've seen people almost get ran over by horses and steers before, so it's a fun weekend. It's just a community getting together and having a good time, and hopefully we keep it going, and hopefully it keeps getting better.
I certainly hope so as well. It's a big event, and it's a lot of fun, like you said, and a lot of history there. But speaking of history, when we take a look at the steers we're seeing going down the road right now, it's pretty big, getting some tricks to them and things that you have to kind of take a look through the history books, and they look like the old timers used to run. So when you get ready to back in the box at some of these rodeos with the family that you have, is there anyone that you're still calling these days? I know you've had a long storied career, but who do you call to ask for advice?
Right before the American, I guess the only person I talked to was Luke Branquino was there commentating, and we talked about my steer, but I know most of the steers are going to almost every rodeo, so usually I have some kind of game plan before, but I don't know. I'll be honest. I try to just react during the moment instead of overthinking it. I can run the steer in my head 10 times, and I'll probably make a completely different run when it happens, so.
Hey, but it's that reaction that has got you to 4 national finals rodeos and given you a $2 million opportunity. Riley, best of luck at the American. We're excited to see you in Arlington.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
That's Riley Duvall, 4-time NFR qualifier, but now eligible for the $2 million at the American.
When we return next on Western Sports Roundup, there's a special horse that's taken a lot of people to the pay window in that #1 position, Disco Party, taking people to some big paydays next on Western Sports Roundup.
Start. What do you do? Gone. You're at 5. You're at 6. Did he weaken? No.
I told you so, I told you so. He's got it all. Get him on the ground where he can hear you. Woo!
Can it help him now go back-to-back as a Rodeo Houston champion? The dance is on, and Disco is back in town.
Well, now that we've wrapped up the exciting Texas swing, we've recapped the highest earning human athletes across the rodeo, but we want to talk about one of the standouts on the equine side of things. 3 rides, 3 wins, 1 legend, and that legend is the Calgary Stampede's Disco Party. We saw Tilden Hooper win the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo at 92 points. Then Disco Party rolled on to San Antonio, helped Wacy Shawla get the title there with a 91-point ride in the short round. And then she met up with an old friend, Rocker Steiner, at Rodeo Houston, 90.5 points for the win there too. And you can just see the numbers that this incredible mare has stacked up just over those 3 rodeos this winter.
She is such an incredible animal, and one that you definitely want to draw when you see these 90-plus point rides, Katie. And obviously, with such a great horse like this, there's a great backstory to that as well. But Katie, you know a lot about Disco Party, but I think we could talk to someone that also might know a lot about this special horse.
Yeah, safe to say I'm a huge fan of this horse, but Tyler Craft knows so much more about this amazing equine athlete. Tyler Craft, the 10-year-old mare, looks stronger than ever in 2026. But what is she like for you? You handle her day in and day out. What is Disco Party like at the ranch?
Oh, she's just a dream. That mare's as easy as they come, and just a great animal to wish we had 25 just like them. So.
What a special horse to be around, and I like that you get to know them so well, but at her age and where she's at, has there ever been a point in time when you've watched her coming up that it ever really crossed your mind, wow, she's really getting this figured out, she's going to be special?
Yeah, I think she's always had signs of great success, or going to be a special mare. Just took her a little bit to get the consistency thing, and I think last year being runner-up, and then following it up this year with 3 wins in Texas, I think she's really putting a good, consistent year together. And hopefully, after that coveted world championship horse. So, that's what the goal is to get that world championship. So, and she's off to a great start and batting 1,000. So, pretty cool.
Yeah, and a horse like this doesn't just happen by accident. You have an amazing breeding program there at the Calgary Stampede, but there were so many other stock contractors when you look back at her lineage that came together to make this one special horse. But of course, we can't ignore her sire, Graded Coconut, the 6-time PRCA Horse of the Year. But Tyler, as you look at this bloodlines, you look at the history and the horsepower behind Disco Party, tell us about some of these other standouts that kind of make it obvious that she was going to have success in her future.
Yeah, the proof's in the pudding for sure. Northcott's, Birch's, Jonathan Comita with Lunatic Party, and Calgary Stampede's Graded Coconut. It just it's a bit of a mixing bowl that all to come together to create such a great animal. And like I said, that the pedigree is one thing, but her heart's hard to duplicate also. So I think it just the pedigree means a lot, but just her heart, I think, is what makes her that much more special than a lot of horses.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's easy to see her heart every time a cowboy nods her head, but you also have a great training program too. I remember several years ago, Zeke Thurston posted some photos and videos of you halter breaking the young horses and just handling them, getting them used to humans a little bit more. Tell me a little bit about that side of the program and what you have seen be successful over the years.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite thing about doing that is bringing them young horses up and setting them up for, it's kind of like a kid playing hockey, right? You're not just going to throw them right into AAA. You kind of got to go through the steps and, get them skating and get them going. So no different than the bucking horses. You want to set them up, make sure that they're there, not only physically, but mentally too. They need to, it's a big deal coming from the ranch and just going right into the mix of a rodeo arena. And, you want to make sure that you're setting them up for the right rodeos and with the goal being to be able to take them to haul them all the way to Texas. I mean, that's a feat in itself. Just, those horses that are, traveling 2,000 miles, that's tough on a horse, and to set them up to get them to do that doesn't happen overnight. You're not just taking a horse right off the ranch and hauling them all the way to Texas. So I think setting them up baby steps and into something like that, and to get them to that point where they can win all them rodeos, I think is it's in a very challenging part of the job, but very when it goes well, there's no better feeling.
I like what you said about the proof being in the pudding, but it's also in the pudding right here with what you guys do to bring them along, to teach them those steps and bring them along as they can. Like you said, to get to that point, it takes a lot of wear and tear on their body, but you guys do a lot to make sure that they stay healthy, stay sound, and stay ready for the next big one. What does the downtime look like for these horses? They've had a lot of runs here at the Texas Swing, but now they're back home for just a little bit. What does a little vacation look like?
Well, I don't know if this would be more like a winter vacation at home right now on the ranch. It's just winter's hanging on here, so we're still having to kind of keep them close to the corrals and feeding them good. And so eventually, when the green grass does come, they're gonna get as far away from the headquarters of the ranch and get to the bottom of the ranch. There's about a 7.5 section field, and they're gonna get checked daily. But as far as human interaction, they're just kind of on vacation and grazing and hanging out and enjoying the downtime.
How important is it to balance the two? I feel like 20, 30 years ago, stock contractors believed the wilder they were, the more feral these animals were, the better they would buck. But Calgary Stampede went a different direction. But sounds like you're figuring out the balance between the two. When they have their time off, they get turned out as far away from the headquarters as possible. But then you also spend a lot of time handling them too.
Yeah, I think it's just no different than somebody that's working all the time. It's a little reset, never gonna hurt anybody. So they know their job, and it's not like they're forgetting it by any means. They're just taking a reset. And even the year of COVID and 2020, I thought people were kind of a little skeptical about how little the Calgary Stampede horses bucked was because we were so behind up in Canada. And I thought that was probably one of the best showings at the NFR for the Calgary stock, and I think they won half the rounds on Calgary stock, which was pretty cool.
That's got to feel pretty nice about the program that you have. Now, I want to kind of pick your brain as far as being a pickup man, an NFR pickup man at that. When it comes to disco party and horses like this, I know a lot of the bareback riders and the bronc riders, they get to know these horses' buck patterns as well. But what do you think it is about her that makes her so special in there, and especially kind of easier to handle along for the ride when it comes to picking these guys up as well?
Yeah, I think she's... what makes her so special is her kick, her little exotic thing. It can kind of go one of two ways. She can just be real good, or she can be exceptional. We're just watching Rocker right now at the NFR. I thought she was good, was real good there. But the trip before that with Jacek Frost, I thought she was exceptional. And that little exotic thing that she decides she's going to do right out of the gate, I think is really cool. And it's hard to duplicate that, and wish they'd all do that, but that's what makes her so much special. It makes them harder to find, so like I said, makes her that much special.
Makes it hard to match some horses to her as well. You can't go down the road with just one great bucking horse. The Calgary Stampede has to build a whole herd to match Disco Party. How difficult of a task is that?
Yeah, it almost, kind of almost feels like cheating when somebody draws Disco Party, especially right now, and they're being so consistent. She just seems like she's just that, just a little cut above everything else, and again, looks like she's just great to ride for the contestants too. They're able to show off, and she is too. So I think it's sure fun to watch for not only myself, but I think for the spectators also.
Yeah, well, Tyler, I'm a big fan of that great mare. She has been so exciting to watch in her career, and best of luck for her. I know she's on a little bit of a vacation in the cold right now, but we're excited to see her when she heads back to the rodeo trail. Thanks so much for visiting with us, Tyler.
Yes, thank you.
That's the Calgary Stampede's Tyler Kraft breaking down the great horse Disco Party that has been taking all the headlines all year long.
Next on Western Sports Roundup, we're going to take a little trip to the BBR Better Barrel Races updates. Next on Western Sports Roundup. Welcome back into Western Sports Roundup in the Cowboy Channel studios. I really like some of these opportunities that we have to talk about big events, Katie, because sometimes we get to take it right back to my home state of Oklahoma, where the Better Barrel Races World Finals is the BBR. Listen, they have paid out almost $4 million in earnings so far this season, but 150,000 added there in Oklahoma City this weekend. A lot of great contestants have shown up with some great horsepower.
Yeah, here's a great contestant from Oklahoma, I should add, Elise. Piedmont, Oklahoma's Jamie Dearly and Ivory Hailstorm. This 5-year-old goes back to the great Corona Cartel, your champion here in the 5D Invitational Shootout, to 16.101 to get the win there at the Better Barrel Races World Finals. Look at the competition, though, behind her. Really almost over 3/10, pardon me, ahead of number 2.
And it just kept getting better from the 5D Invitational Shootout to the 40. Let's take it to this great horse there in the Coliseum, Marlena Williams, and Smooth Dash to Heaven for a 15.878. Katie, I have had a long-standing history, obviously being in Oklahoma in that historic arena, but having the new history that is being created in the OG&E arena has been plenty exciting to see, because we're seeing a lot of horsepower, a lot of big things. You were just there a week ago taking a look right here, just how close these runs really were. We've got Lauren Lervik there in the number 2 position with 15.937, Gentry Hill, and on down through the list. A lot of great horsepower, I keep saying that, but the BBR continues for this weekend.
Yeah, big congratulations to our shootout champions in the 5D and 4D Invitational. Better Barrel Races World Finals continues through Sunday. Over $150,000 in added money just this year. As you said, at least over $4 million paid out in the history of this great event, and it's happening right now in Oklahoma City. You can stream it on Cowboy Plus. Another event you can stream on Cowboy Plus right now, the Angelina Benefit Rodeo in Lufkin, Texas. We've got a few new leaders after the performance last night, so let's take a look at this update right here, starting with a rookie on a mission in the saddle bronc riding. Waitley Sharon takes over the lead from fellow rookie here on Gus, the horse just simply named Gus from Raptor S Rodeo. He is now your leader with 84 points. Taking over the lead in the rookie standings as well. He's number 1 right now and also number 28 in the world.
Katie, I think every year we talk about the rookie race in the saddle bronc riding because it just seems to get better and better, but this is going to be a fun one to see. Congratulations. We'll see how the runs make out through the rest of the weekend. But in the ladies barrel racing, we talked about Josie Murphy in that, and now in the number 2 position because world champion Brittany Posey Tanazi comes in there and blasts him with a 14.85, but Josie was a 14.86. Talk about consistency and just how close that track has been, and I bet it just keeps getting faster.
Yeah, what a great pair of runs that we've seen over the last couple performances. Still leading the way in the bareback riding is Weston Chandler with that 88-point score we saw on night 1. Steer wrestling still split by Justin Schaefer and Paul Melvin, 11-1 on 2. Team roping, Nelson Wyatt, Jonathan Torres, 9.5 seconds on 2 for them. Tie-down roping, Richard Newton still in the lead, 18-7 on 2. And the world champion Josh Frost at 88.5 points still holds on to the number 1 spot in the bull riding.
A lot of exciting things happening, and especially coming up this weekend, of course, you'll be able to see that with Cowboy Plus subscription. But from the professionals of the sport, we're going to talk about some of the young up-and-comers that will be at the Lazy E Arena yet again for the WCJR. Chris Neal, the producer of that event, will be joining us on Western Sports Roundup next. Welcome back into the Cowboy Channel studios for Western Sports Roundup. You're taking a look inside the fabulous Lazy E Arena. We talk a lot about the young talent and stars of the sport of rodeo, and a lot of them are coming to the World Champion Junior Rodeo, and that is the WCJR. You guys, a lot of great people have come from that organization, the fabulous Lazy E, as I have said, but now we get to talk to someone that helps make it happen, running the show, if you will, from CN Productions, producing this event. Chris Neal is joining us here in the studio. Thanks for being here, my friend.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We're ready for another one. You've kind of stepped into this role here, but you're no stranger to producing these events and working with the Lazy E. How fun has it been that you guys have really been able to push towards a new year?
It's awesome. Love the crew. The Lazy Arena has been great to me, and for my events coming up with Future Stars, Rising Stars, Oklahoma's Richest, we've had some of all of my events there, and Dan Wall and the Lazy has been a big contributing factor to that. So to be able to be brought back there to put on a full produced rodeo, it's going to be nice.
Yeah, Dan was on the show earlier this week and talked about how he wanted to make the Lazy E in Guthrie, Oklahoma, youth rodeo capital. What is it about that venue that just fits these major youth events so well?
Yeah, so Dan and I were talking a little bit earlier about that, and that was kind of the whole concept when WCJR came about in 2021, was just to have another great opportunity for the youth in Oklahoma. So the fact that we're going to go back to back with Shawnee IFYR this year with the new dates, July 8th through the 11th, we feel like that's going to be a huge factor for all these kids and parents and families that are traveling from far away to be able to come and hit a doubleheader in Oklahoma. There's a lot of pride in youth with myself, CM Productions, and with the Lazy E. I feel like that is a lot of our focus is on the youth of our industry, and so Lazy is doing a remarkable job on getting all these events with high school, junior high, and the WCJR is open to all, as long as you meet the age requirements for 19 and under and 15 and under. As of event start date on July the 8th, it's open to the world for the youth, so it's just another great opportunity for great money.
You know, we're raising the next generation of rodeo athletes, and like you said, the money has been such an incredible piece of this. But for those at home that might not know how you can get involved, there's 3 ways that you can get into this event. Can you kind of break that down?
Yeah, for sure. So first one is through the VRQ qualifier, through nominating through the year and getting points and being on the top 15 on the leaderboard. So those 15 athletes will actually advance all the way to the semifinals with no additional entry fee. So they're guaranteed a spot to the semifinals. Then there is qualifier series events throughout the year. Those contestants that win those qualifier series events, they will be able to enter the last chance qualifier with no entry fees. And then open to everyone is available to enter the last chance qualifier. No membership required, no qualifications required. Anyone can enter as long as you meet the age requirements, 15 and under for the youth division, 19 and under for the junior division. And we'll have 2 full rounds of competition on that on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll take, there's going to be 27 contestants that's going to advance from that last chance qualifier to the semifinals, plus 3 from a buyback round that we'll have. So a total of 30 will join the top 15 on that leaderboard for 45 competing at the semifinals. So that is a new format. It's an increased numbers to our semifinals. So we're taking way more contestants to the semifinals to try to advance to that final round where all the big added money is at.
Yeah, speaking of that big money, $10,000 added per event in the 19 and under, $5,000 an event in the 15 and under. With so many great youth events to choose from, why is it so important to make sure that payday is involved?
Yeah, I mean, these kids need to come and take opportunity. It's $145,000 total added money guaranteed at this event. Plus there is $18,000 in bonus money. It's $1,000 to the #1 seed on the leaderboard per division that will have a $1,000 bonus on top of that $145,000 added.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is so much. But I mean, you take a look at what Merrick Moyer did just a year ago, $19,000 going home to an Oklahoma native. But things are a little bit different this year as well. We're talking about the money added, but also the arena will be a little different as well, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had some conversations last year, and we've been looking at things to change up, and we're wanting to bring way more energy to this event. And so we're bringing everyone inside. We have 2 arena concept inside the Lazy E, so everyone will be, it's hot July weekend, first part of July, so everyone will be competing inside the air conditioning, so that's a huge thing. We will do the calf roping, breakaway, goat tying, poles in one arena, team roping, steer wrestling, the barrels, and all the rough stock in another arena, but it'll be side-by-side concept, all going on at the same time. For bring way more energy, and all the families can be inside. We will have jackpots out in the Reliance Arena, so we'll have some high stakes jackpots, some going on out there, probably some Patriot qualifiers, all that kind of stuff all week long outside, but everybody will compete inside this year for the WCJR.
So if that wasn't enough, you've also got some other events that are coming up soon that you're excited about.
Yes, Memorial Day weekend, just a few weeks away. We're almost in May already, but the entry deadline is May 4th for Future Stars in Glen Rose, Texas. It is actually in conjunction this year with the American Rodeo, that Memorial Day weekend. So from the families that are traveling from far away, we'd love to have you come and compete and rope with us during the day. They can go to the Arlington. We're only an hour away. So it's going to be a great fun Memorial Day weekend. It's a 4-day, Friday through Monday, May 22nd through the 25th.
There's a lot of big things coming up, Chris. It's very busy for you guys, and you are obviously very busy, but thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here, and especially giving back to the next generation of rodeo.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys.
And for you guys at home, that is WCJRodeo.com for more information. Next on Western Sports Roundup, we're going to wrap it all up. We are not done yet. Stay with us. More to come on Western Sports Roundup. It's time for our top 3 stories of the day, presented by Vetericyn Clean, Treat, Heal.
We talked to Coleman Proctor earlier in the show after he and Travis Graves swept the American Central Regional. They now have a $2 million opportunity ahead of them. And don't forget, each of those ropers is also a former champion of the American.
And speaking of that big-time event in Oklahoma, let's talk about Shakota, Oklahoma's own Riley Duvall. That he's also headed to the American Championship weekend. 4 trips to the big show. Not only will he have his own chance at $2 million, he's also going to be hazing for some good friends as well.
And Calgary Stampede's disco party has been making headlines all season long in the Texas swing, but Tyler Kraft took us behind the scenes of this standout 10-year-old bucking horse.
Wow, Katie, a lot of big things we've had on the show today, and big things coming up this weekend as well. Our rodeo radar right here on Cowboy Channel, and with Cowboy Plus subscription, you'll be seeing a lot of big-time shows. Thermal, California is where we will be headed. The Desert Rodeo streaming with Cowboy Plus April 24th through the 26th. And that's just one we'll see this weekend.
Yeah, great rodeos happening all over the place this weekend, including one of the most historic bull ridings in the game. It's the 48th George Paul Memorial Extreme Bull Riding. They increased their prize money this year. Their roster is full of great bull riders, and they'll be competing on Cowboy Plus April 24th and 25th.
Well, you guys, we keep saying there's a lot of big things happening, but Clovis is what will happen right after this show today. And Katie, I guess that just means we're done with the show.
Yeah, it's time to wrap it up. For Elise Sutherland, I'm Katie Lucas. Thanks so much for watching this Friday edition of Western Sports Roundup. We'll see you once again on Monday, but for now, please enjoy performance number 2 of the Clovis Rodeo.